this.
Just right.
Perfect.
Together.
All right, this one's ready.
Good, I'll move the ladder.
Let's get the next sheet.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us today. In this video, we want to share a deeply touching story about love, responsibility, and the quiet sacrifices that build a true family. This is not a story of grand words or dramatic promises, but one of sincere actions, heartfelt choices, and the warmth of human connection. The story follows Dae and Huyen, a woman who has endured years of hardship while raising her daughter Maya alone. When Dae realizes that Huyen's old house has become dangerously unsafe, he makes a life-changing decision to build her a new home without hesitation or expectation. What begins as concern grows into an act of love that offers safety, dignity, and hope for a better future. As Huyen steps into the new house, she is overwhelmed not only by the comfort it provides, but by the sincerity behind it. Through this gift, she learns to trust again, to accept love without fear, and to believe that she and her daughter truly deserve happiness. Her heart slowly opens to a future she once thought was out of reach. The story reaches its emotional peak when Sam's mother recognizes the genuine bond between Dae and Huyen. With warmth and wisdom, she encourages them to take the next step: marriage, family, and the dream of welcoming new life into their home. Her blessing becomes a symbol of acceptance, healing, and a future built on love and unity. This story reminds us that real love is shown through responsibility, patience, and the courage to stand by someone, not just in easy moments, but in life's most fragile ones. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like the video, leave a comment to share your thoughts, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more emotional, heartwarming stories about family, love, and everyday life. Your support means everything to us and helps us continue sharing meaningful stories like this one. After visiting Huyen's house several times, Dae could no longer ignore the growing sense of unease in his heart. What once had been a simple shelter now showed clear signs of dangerous deterioration. The wooden beams above creaked ominously whenever strong winds passed through. The roof leaked badly during the rainy season, leaving damp stains on the walls and puddles on the floor. Long cracks ran along the aging concrete, silently warning that the structure could collapse at any moment. Each time Dae stepped inside, his eyes instinctively scanned the ceiling, his mind filled with fear rather than comfort. But what troubled him most was not the house itself, it was the people living inside it. Huyen had endured so much already, raising her daughter Maya alone after years of hardship. She tried her best to make the old house feel warm and livable, often smiling and brushing off concerns, saying she was used to it. Yet Dae saw through her brave facade. He noticed how she carefully placed buckets around the room on rainy nights, how she always made sure Maya slept in the safest corner, far from the cracked walls. Every small action revealed a quiet fear she never voiced. One evening, after a heavy storm, Dae arrived to find the floor soaked and part of the ceiling crumbling. Maya clung tightly to her mother, frightened by the thunder and the sound of water dripping endlessly. In that moment, something shifted deeply inside Dae. He realized that love was not only about words, promises, or shared moments, it was about responsibility, protection, and action. He could not allow Huyen and her child to continue living in constant danger. Without telling Huyen, Dae made a firm decision. He would build her a new house, strong, safe, and warm, a place where she and Maya could finally live without fear. It was not an impulsive act driven by pride or obligation. It was a quiet commitment born from genuine care. Day believed that if he truly loved someone, he had to ensure their safety and peace of mind. He began planning everything carefully. He consulted builders, selected durable materials, and chose a design that balanced simplicity with comfort. The house did not need to be extravagant. What mattered was that it was solid, well-ventilated, and filled with light. He imagined Maya running freely across a clean floor, sleeping soundly without rain dripping beside her bed. He pictured Huyen cooking in a dry kitchen, smiling without worry, finally able to breathe easily. Throughout the process, Day worked silently. He did not seek praise or acknowledgement. Every brick laid, every beam reinforced, carried his unspoken promise. You will be safe. You are no longer alone. Even when the work exhausted him, the image of Huyen and Maya living securely gave him strength to continue. Today, the house represented far more than a physical structure. It symbolized a turning point in Huyen's life, a step away from years of instability and fear toward a future of safety and hope. It was his way of telling her that her struggles mattered, that her life and her child's life were precious. In a world where Huyen had learned to rely only on herself, this house was proof that someone had chosen to stand beside her, not out of pity, but out of love. As the foundation took shape, so did Day's resolve. He knew this decision would change everything, not only for Huyen and Maya, but for himself as well. Building this house meant opening his heart fully, embracing a shared future, and accepting the responsibilities that came with loving a woman and her child. And for the first time in a long while, Day felt certain this was exactly where he belonged. When the new house was finally completed, Huyen stood silently at the entrance for a long moment, unable to step inside. Her hands trembled slightly as she looked at the solid walls, the clean roof, and the sturdy door that would protect her and her daughter from storms and uncertainty. For years, she had learned to accept hardship as a normal part of life. She never expected comfort, and she never dared to dream of being cared for so deeply. Yet here it was, standing before her, a home built not by obligation, but by love. As Day gently encouraged her to come in, Huyen took her first steps across the smooth floor. There were no cracks beneath her feet, no damp smell in the air, no fear lingering above her head. Sunlight streamed through the windows, filling the rooms with warmth and calm. In that quiet moment, emotions she had long buried rose uncontrollably to the surface. Tears welled in her eyes, not from sadness, but from overwhelming gratitude and relief. She turned to Day, struggling to find words. Everything he had done for her and Maya was far beyond what she had ever expected from anyone. He had not merely offered help, he had given her dignity, security, and a sense of belonging. Huyen realized that this house was not just a gift, it was a reflection of Day's heart. Every detail spoke of care, patience, and respect for her life and her past. Maya, unaware of the depth of the moment, ran joyfully from room to room, laughing as her small footsteps echoed across the house. Watching her daughter's happiness broke the last of Huyen's emotional defenses. She had spent so many nights worrying about Maya's safety, fearing that the old house might collapse during a storm. Now, for the first time, she could imagine her child growing up in a place where fear no longer shaped their days. Huyen's heart filled with a deep, quiet happiness. She understood that Day's love was not loud or demanding. It did not come with expectations or conditions. Instead, it arrived through actions, steady, sincere, and unwavering. He had never once reminded her of what he had done, never asked for recognition. His kindness was pure, and that sincerity touched her more deeply than any promise ever could. With a trembling voice, Huyen thanked him. She told him she would cherish not only the house, but the love behind it. She promised herself that she would never take his sacrifices for granted. Accepting his care was not a sign of weakness, it was an act of trust. And for Huyen, trust had always been difficult, yet with Day it felt natural and safe. As they stood together in the new living room, Huyen felt something she had not felt in years: peace. Not the temporary calm that fades with the next hardship, but a steady sense of security rooted in mutual respect and understanding. She understood that Day's love, when genuine, does not rescue, it walks beside, offering strength without diminishing one's independence. In that moment, Huyen opened her heart fully. She allowed herself to believe in a future where she was not merely surviving, but truly living. A future where her daughter could laugh freely, where storms no longer brought fear, and where love was built as solidly as the walls around them. For Huyen, accepting Day's love was not the end of her journey. It was the beginning of a new chapter, written with gratitude, trust, and the quiet promise of a shared life ahead. Sam's mother had always been a quiet observer in Dee and Ian's journey. She did not interfere, nor did she rush them with expectations. Instead, she watched carefully, from the way Dee looked at Ian with steady concern to the way Ian's eyes softened whenever she spoke about him. To her, love was not proven by grand declarations, but by consistency, patience, and responsibility. And in Dee, she saw all of those qualities clearly. When she learned that Dee had built a new house for Ian and Maya, Sam's mother felt deeply moved. She visited the house herself, running her hand along the strong walls, examining the roof, and noticing the thoughtful details meant for a child's safety. More than the house itself, she saw the intention behind it. A man does not take on such a responsibility lightly, especially not for a woman and a child who are not his by blood. In that moment, her doubts faded completely. One evening, as the three of them sat together in the new living room, Sam's mother finally spoke from her heart. Her voice was gentle but firm, filled with warmth and sincerity. She told Ian that she could see how much Dee cherished her, not just as a partner, but as a woman deserving of peace and respect. She praised Ian for her strength and resilience, acknowledging the long road she had walked alone to reach this point. Turning to Dee, she thanked him, not for the house, but for the love and responsibility he had shown. She reminded him that true commitment is revealed through actions, especially in difficult times. Then, with a soft smile, she encouraged both of them to consider taking the next step together, to organize a wedding, to officially become a family, and to build a shared life under one roof. Her words were not a command, but a blessing. She spoke of the joy of seeing two sincere hearts finally choose each other after so much hardship. She told them that marriage was not merely a ceremony, but a promise to face life together, side by side, with patience and understanding. In her eyes, Dee and Ian already lived like a family. It was time for the world to recognize that bond. As the conversation continued, Sam's mother laughed softly and shared her simple wish for the future. She hoped that one day, not too far away, the house would be filled with even more laughter, the sound of another child's footsteps, the gentle cries of a newborn. She dreamed of holding a grandchild in her arms, of watching the family grow stronger and more complete with time. Ian listened with tears in her eyes. She felt an overwhelming sense of acceptance and warmth. For so long, she had feared being judged for her past, for being a single mother, for her struggles. Yet here she was, being welcomed not with hesitation, but with open arms and sincere hope for her happiness. Sam's mother's words healed wounds Ian had carried silently for years. Dee reached for Ian's hand, his grip steady and reassuring. He understood the weight of what was being offered, not pressure, but trust. He felt ready to embrace this future, not out of obligation, but out of love and certainty. Together, they shared a quiet moment of understanding, knowing that their path forward was no longer uncertain. As the evening light faded, the house felt warmer than ever, not because of its walls, but because of the promise that now lived within them. With Sam's mother's blessing, Dee and Ian stood at the threshold of new chapter, one filled with commitment, family, and the gentle hope of new life to come.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Live Single RV. Vậy là câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay kết thúc tại đây. Nội dung câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày nay đã rất là hấp dẫn, đã kể về câu chuyện là Đệ đã thấy căn nhà của Huyền đã xuống cấp rất là nặng nề. Vì thế Đệ đã bí mật thiết kế một căn nhà bằng những viên gạch để tạo bất ngờ cho Huyền, và Đệ cũng đã gây sự bất ngờ cho Huyền khi đề nghị với Huyền là anh muốn xây dựng cho Huyền một căn nhà mới bằng những viên gạch lung đỏ rất là đẹp. Huyền thì cảm thấy rất là vui mừng và hạnh phúc, bởi vì căn nhà cô và Đệ và bé May A đang ở hiện cũng đã xuống cấp rất là nặng nề, không còn an toàn để cho cả gia đình sinh sống nữa. Nên khi mà Đệ đề nghị như thế thì Huyền đã lập tức đồng ý với Đệ, và cả hai đã tiến hành công việc bắt tay vào xây dựng căn nhà ngay lập tức. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn về câu chuyện cũng giống như quá trình xây nhà của Huyền và Đệ sẽ còn được kể ở các video tiếp theo. Các bạn đừng quên bấm vào nút subscribe để đăng ký kênh, sẽ nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các câu chuyện sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh Live Single RV nhé. Nếu các bạn thấy câu chuyện hôm nay hay, hấp dẫn và mới lạ, hãy cho mình xin nút like, share và để lại bình luận ở dưới video nhé. Mọi ý kiến đóng góp của các bạn sẽ giúp mình cải thiện nội dung trên kênh hay hơn nữa để phục vụ các khán giả. Huyền và Đệ cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều vì đã luôn theo dõi và ủng hộ hành trình của họ. Huyền and Đệ say thank you to you. Bye bye, see you soon.